What's going on? What's going on? The real DJ says GLR and BDA are goated. Morge probably reading the chat, thinking not yet. No, I'm starting it. GLR goated. What are we talking about? What are you guys talking about? Strife says, let's not talk badly about other YouTubers. Alright, I'm gonna read the beginning of this chat soon. Let's find out what we were talking about. I need to know now. Alright, this seems like a rabbit hole. I think I know what this is referring to. I'm pretty sure I know what this is referring to. I have not seen that video yet. I'll be able to speak on this in the future. But I think I know what this is referring to. I'm assuming. Yeah, like the stream. Like the stream. Everybody like the stream. Yeah. Did you watch the GLR video? No. But I saw the thumbnail and I was just like, I can't deal with this right now. I'll watch it at some point because I have to find out what he says. But that's just... I'll deal with that at some other point. / continue ignoring it. I don't know. Is it mean? Can someone tell me if it's mean? Someone tell me in the chat if it's mean. If it's mean, I won't like watching it. If it's not mean, I'll probably watch it. It's a King video? Are we talking about King of Lightning? No, we can't be talking about King of Lightning. King of Lightning would never do anything to harm me. Mostly because I think he doesn't even... King doesn't care about anything else, really, besides just doing his own thing. He has zero interest, I think, in what other YouTubers are doing at all. Which is the best mentality to have. LuxFlux says, everybody post pictures of your houses. What? Whoa, what? This sounds bad. Let's not do... Nobody do that. Nobody do anything like that. Nobody post pictures of houses. Shy Guy Pro says not really mean. So if it's not Mr. Crescent saying not mean, if it's not mean, then I don't really care. As long as it's not mean, then I won't care. Then I'll just watch. James Sharf says the GLR stuff was savage, so we're getting different stuff. But it wasn't mean, so then I'll watch it at some point. I'm assuming it's not. I don't think he would just do something like that. Sean Easton says post photos, good luck. Yeah, I don't know if you can just post photos in the chat. I don't know if we have that technology yet. Nem says do not post pictures of your houses. Yeah, let's all listen to Nem. Instead, like the stream. Don't post any photos. Like the stream. That's the better move. Whatever energy you have for posting photos, just convert it to stream liking energy. Blablock says, Morge, where's the new stream layout? All right. So, has nobody noticed? Why is it not showing up on stream? There should be a giant chat thing. Is chat not... Why is chat not showing up? Am I stupid? What did I do? Chat should be showing up. Are you guys not seeing it? Fuck. That's not good. Does someone know how to fix this? Why isn't my chat showing up? I just want chat to show up. I don't want to ruin this for the VOD viewers. No chat. Alright. Here's what we do. We have to go back to the jank methods from the jank days. I think we... Hold on, I don't want to fall behind on supers. Keenan says, did you watch Roof Piece, Morge? No, but a lot of people have urged me to. Mainly TCB... What am I saying, a lot of people? TCB scans, just one person. TCB has been urging me to watch it. And he's saying a lot of things. I do trust his opinion. I do believe it's really good. I've seen so many good things said about it. I've seen so many good things said about the new episode, so I really, really do actually want to watch it. But it's also just like, I don't want to... I lied. I don't want to watch it that much, but I do want to watch it just to see what it's about. The reason I don't want to watch it that much is not because I don't think it's good. I definitely believe it's really good because so many people are saying the same thing. TCB saying it was actually really, really innovative in many ways. I believe all of that. I believe it was probably a really good episode. The reason I'm not inclined to want to dip my toes in and watch anime episodes again is just because I just personally don't work like that, where I can tune in and sort of be like, okay, I like this anime episode, but I know that in the future, very shortly, the anime is going to go back to its terrible pacing, all of its normal issues, etc. I can't just watch something random like an anime episode and feel truly invested in it, knowing that I'm never going to watch the rest of the arc in this format, knowing that this is one drop in a long series of things. Like, it's just a way that I know that it can be good in moments, but if I know that it's not something I can truly immerse myself in, and I think that's what the word I'm really looking for, I can't truly immerse myself in the joy of watching, an anime episode, because I just know that it's not something I'm going to be able to enjoy long term, and I know that pretty soon it's going to become unwatchable again. So it's just like one small little snippet of something enjoyable, but I can't really give in and just enjoy the whole anime medium as is. So that's kind of the issue that I personally have with it, so it's hard for me to do it. Behnort says, real question, who will win NBA rings this year? Great question. I think the Warriors will win. Might surprise you guys, but I'm a LeBron James fan first and foremost, but I'm a Warriors fan next, just because I am a relatively new NBA fan, I suppose. I got into it 2016 like many people did, because the Warriors were hype. And so I still care, even though, they're not my favorite team at this point. Out of whoever is playing at the moment, I would like the Warriors to win. I'm just happy the Nets are going to lose. Please tell me the Nets are losing as we speak. Someone tell me the Nets are losing right now. 8 Gates Production says, how are you controversial when you're right 60% of the time? You guys know what are we talking about? We know why I'm controversial. It's literally just from the raid failing. It's literally just that. So, Chinho Wong says, don't trust TCB, ? No, I said I trust TCB. I specifically said I did trust TCB. It's just the raid. It's not complicated. We all know why. So as long as the raid fails, I'm in the clear. Sausage Lord says, Morge, have you been hitting the weights? Looking good. Thank you, Sausage Lord. Your name makes me uncomfortable by what you just said, but if it was anybody else, I'd probably be feeling pretty good. And yes, I have. So 15-12, it's close. Yeah, good enough. I mean, that's my win this game and then just lose overall. I'm still trying to figure out the chat at the same time as this, but I'm not that good at multitasking technology things. I can barely single task technology things. Thomas Kaz says, if each Straw Hat had a different role on the crew, what would each be best at? That is such a cool question. I love that question. In fact, that's almost a video topic type question if I really wanted a filler bullshit video, but we don't do that. So, or do we? No, I'll just answer it right here. Different role at the crew. What would Luffy be good at? I think Luffy would be good. Luffy would actually... Yeah, Luffy, the whole point is he can't do anything else, right? He gives that whole speech to Arlong precisely because he is literally incapable of doing anything else. There's nothing else in the crew that he could possibly do. He could maybe pass for musician. Luffy could pass for musician because we know he sang that Skypiea song. I love that Skypiea song, by the way, right? Because the Skypiea song, I've mentioned this before on stream, but the Skypiea song that Luffy sang, it's something that this was before, we all caught up to One Piece in our own ways, right? And we all passed that Skypiea bit without really there being a large-scale community or anything like that, right? But nowadays, to this day, you can reference that Skypiea song. Like, it's not like, oh, Luffy singing that was like a meme for its time or something like that. It's just something that literally stuck out to every single person who watched the whole anime and caught up to One Piece today, Luffy singing that Skypiea song. So you can reference it today, and even though we all caught up at different times, we all had different viewing experiences, there was no community back when the Skypiea arc was going on, as far as I know, we all remember that Skypiea song as an iconic bit. We all know what's being referenced there. Anyway, Luffy could be musician, right? Going down the list, Luffy could be musician, Zoro could be, honestly, sniper, Usopp's role, because Zoro can launch long-range attacks better than Usopp, to be honest. To be perfectly blunt, have you seen the, 1080-pound cannons? So I think Zoro's got the sniper role down. Usopp could obviously be Frankie's role, shipwright. Nami could be cook easily, or doctor. Cook, let's say, first and foremost, because that's what she did first. Sanji he could swap with Zoro, so he could be a fighter, right? Zoro's role is technically fighter. Chopper, this is getting difficult. Chopper doubles as emergency food supply, so that's already covered. Robin could do a lot of things, I feel. Not musician, I think Frankie could cover helmsman, easy. I think he even did for a bit. Robin's hard. I feel like maybe maybe Doctor, maybe Navigator. I think Robin Navigator, reason being that we know that Robin was able to get around on the seas perfectly fine before being on the crew. So that indicates to me that she could do a passable job navigating because she was able to make her way through the Grand Line. Okay. I think that covers just about everybody. Jinbei doing something else. Also emergency food supply. So I think that covers everybody. That was fun. Zaibatsu says, have a nice stream. You're going to see the number 1015 a lot tonight. I'll watch 10. Man, now I wish I'd watch 1015 so I could relate to you guys, but I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Rob says, Nets in 7, Morge. Get out. Get the fuck out. What the? Who is a Nets? Who is a Nets fan? What the fuck? Who would root for those players, first of all? A team of KD, Kyrie. Sorry, I'm so mad. KD. Kyrie, and fucking Ben Simmons. 3 of the most disliked players, probably not in the NBA, in NBA history. 3 of the most disliked players in NBA history. Who is a fan of that team? Secondly, it's not like it's like the fucking New York Knicks. It's the New York Nets. They didn't even have a fan base in the first place. So don't come in saying, oh, I was a Nets fan before KD and Kyrie. No, there was no such thing as fucking Nets fans. They didn't exist. I don't get it. I don't get it. William Marshall says, would you ever make a vid about character design? I think it's not a big enough topic that I'd want to make a video on it, but I do think One Piece, if I did something like just the creative world of One Piece and I covered a lot of different things, like different locations, different whatever, like creativity, ways Oda's exercise creativity in like small concepts across things, then I would probably include character designs, but I probably would not do a full video singular on that singular topic. Carson Creamer says, why are you so sexy? Thanks, Carson. I appreciate it. Your name isn't Sausage Lord, so... you know, it's coming from a better place in my opinion. Artur Chekowitz says, do you think Kaido has already shown his awakening? We've already seen about 5 forms of his. Half dragon, buff hybrid, could that actually be it? I personally don't think so. I think that Oda would have introduced his awakening in a more dramatic manner, as Oda has generally done for awakenings across the board. So I don't think that's the case. And also just on top of that, like, the way Oda has drawn his design for awakening, or his hybrid design, is not particularly great, and this was something that I think, you know, it's not bad, it's just pretty generic. It's like the most straightforward thing you would expect, whereas Oda kind of went all out drawing his actual design, if you remember his introduction, and obviously his dragon form and stuff like that. Banhart says, wow, I can't believe Morge is a white supremacist. He said, black replacing white says it all in Marineford video. Why are you referencing that right now? That's such a random thing to reference, right? Are you watching the Marineford video on the side? Fuck, I forgot about fixing chat. Lux Fox says, symbols, I don't understand. Don't read hieroglyphics. Terry Martin says, what are the defining character flaws for each Straw Hat? Which Straw Hats are lacking flaws, and which Straw Hats are yet to be seriously addressed in character arcs? That's a great question. I think, like, so a lot of this depends on... So we all know what their overarching, like, character, ultimate character goal, character need, whatever it is, right? So they've all been given a dream, but Oda doesn't usually explore their character flaws as it pertains to, like, how do I say this? Until the right arc comes along, Oda won't explore a side of a character as a flaw, basically until necessary, right? So, for example, Nami, simplest example, right? So most of what she had to deal with was resolved in Arlong Park, okay? So basically trying to fight everything, do everything by herself, not relying on anybody for help, etc., pushing everyone away, blah, 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 right? So she had to learn, ask Luffy for help, things like that, okay? That made sense for Nami, right? Now, as the story went on, right, up till literally, like, you know, you get the Alabasta saga, Jaya, etc., right? For a long time, basically, we know Nami as a character. She's a very rational, level-headed character, etc. That is not explored as a flaw until Skypiea, okay? Really Jaya/Skypiea, but until Jaya/Skypiea, it's like, okay, that's just her character. That's just who she is. But around that time, it's basically focusing on the idea that, okay, Nami needs to actually expand her mind, open up her mind, be more of a dreamer similar to Luffy, right? In some ways. Because only by being that way can she actually be the navigator that he needs that can take him anywhere, right? And this is proven both through actually getting Luffy from Jaya to Skypiea, and even in the ending phases of the arc, her basically having to have the courage and everything like that to stand by Luffy and believe in Luffy and take Luffy up to fight Enel. A lot of things sort of came together across, like, for Nami in that arc, right? But the flaws that were explored in that arc weren't really treated as flaws prior to that, right? Same thing with Chopper actually in Skypiea, which is Chopper not being, like, really an independent adult figure who can go off and like take command and do things by himself, right? That was something that had to be developed for him in Skypiea, but up till that point, that wasn't really treated as a flaw. It was more like, oh, he's just a little kid character. So in terms of flaws of the Straw Hats, I think a lot of that just needs to be explored as we get to the arcs that need to explore them, okay? There are certain things that I've been seeing about Zoro that I've talked about in many videos, right, that I think Wano could be exploring, but has not yet. So I still believe, obviously, as you know, much more to the arc to go, so I think that Zoro will be getting a lot this arc. Sanji, you could even argue, Sanji's flaws are more apparent, but Oda often doesn't treat them as flaws. He treats them as a more mixed sort of bag in terms of like stupid but honorable ethics and stuff like that. But I think you guys get the idea that a lot of flaws basically get explored as the arcs come along, right? So Water 7, Usopp, things like that. And that's just going to keep happening in my opinion. Great Kate says, Luffy can't even be a good first mate. He's too headstrong and independent to follow literally anyone. Zoro could definitely be a captain in my opinion. That's true. That's true. I didn't even think about, Zoro could be captain, which has definitely been commented on many times. Yeah, Luffy literally could not do anything else. He's not a good support figure at all, in my opinion. Keenan says, appreciation post for 1047. Loving the Luffy versus Kaido fight. Gear 5th is the perfect mixture of entertaining and impressive. Loving the Luffy versus Kaido fight. Gear 5th is the perfect mixture of entertaining and impressive while not being overpowered at the same time. Swinging on lightning, Prince of Persia style, only Luffy. Yes, I love, I've said this many times, but I've loved everything about Luffy's current fighting style. I think that, again, like, this just feels like Oda at his max, like, what he wants to do and what he's wanted to do for so long. I don't know. I think Gear 5th fights will be very, very, very entertaining going forward. Because it's one of those things, what makes Gear 5th so fun is that we don't really know Luffy's full bag yet, right? We don't know everything Luffy can do. So if you had told me like 3 chapters ago, oh yeah, Luffy can grab lightning and like swing around on it or throw it, I would have been like, that doesn't make any sense. But when you see it, it's like, okay, yeah, that does make sense. This is cartoon powers. So the extent of what Luffy can do, the fact that that's always open to, he always can pull something new out of the bag while still making it make sense with his current ability set, that's pretty exciting. Felix C says, do you think a false dawn coming soon, aka Kaido winning yet again? The citizen saying when the sun comes up again, I'll be a slave, is super sus and might be dripping hints. So one thing that I've liked that people have mentioned to me is that Kaido as a dragon can control the weather. Big Mom can also control the weather. So you got 2 weather controlling, powerhouses right there. So it's entirely possible that Kaido just covers up the, he could literally stop the dawn from coming if he wanted to. And just symbolically throw all of Wano into a source of, like, into a region of shadow the entire time if he wanted to, and basically just have, because we know, like we know Onigashima, as far as we've seen, it seems like a kind of dark, stormy place, right? It seems like it's always kind of shrouded in shadow. So if Kaido's moving his home base over to the Flower Capital, then it wouldn't be a surprise that, he just brings a dark storm kind of wherever he goes. And that's just kind of what he does. Literally, like, when Kaido came to visit Kuri just once in Act 1, he turned the whole sky dark, stormy, etc. at the same time. So that just seems like it's something that comes with Kaido. So if Kaido takes over the Flower Capital, it would essentially halt the dawn for an indefinite period of time. Behnort says, would you like to do a found family in One Piece video? It's probably the second biggest theme in One Piece behind Freedom. No, because here's the thing. Like, okay, so there's themes that, I mean, and you're 100% right. I'm not saying no in that sense, but like, you can track this shit back to like literally Nami's arc is the first arc that really starts stressing that idea. And then from every arc, basically, not every arc, but many, many, many arcs going forward, basically stress this idea of, you found your family, etc. basically, right? Like, you can go from all the way back to Arlong Park to all the way over to Whole Cake Island, and it's the same idea being reiterated in different ways. The reason I'm not I just don't feel like doing a video on something like Found Family is just because I don't find it I don't find it a particularly interesting topic to explore, because you kind of get, like, it's a really feel-good topic, right? Don't get me wrong. It like, one of the reasons One Piece is so effectively able to make me cry at so many different points of the series, because I love seeing that aspect of it, right? Like, seeing characters who feel like they have no one, who feel like they've lost everyone, who feel like outcast in some way or whatever, finding family in the Straw Hats, great stuff. I just don't feel like I have a lot to say on that theme, because it's not so much like what Oda is saying about that concept that is interesting to me, but rather he just executes it really well over and over again to kind of hit you well emotionally. But there's not that much, I don't think that there's that many ideas that I'd want to like devote a full video to explain like this is some complex shit that Oda's saying. I think the idea is pretty clean and pretty consistent across the story. Mohammed Aturki says, what is the One Piece? Share your thoughts. I will direct you to a video that is called The End of One Piece. I think it's a very, very good video, and to me, that answers the question of what One Piece is. It's not even my own theory. It's actually built off of a theory that's been running in the community for a long period of time, going all the way back to like Arlong Park forums. Yeah, I think that's basically... Oh, you know what? Let me try doing this. How about now? Can you see it now? No. Sorry, talking about the chat box. Let me try remove... Nope, hold on. Could I add... Why doesn't it just say add, like, chat box or something? How did I set this up? What did I do? Alright, I'll slowly figure it out. I'll figure it out over the course of the stream. If someone wants to assist me, I would not say no. But yeah, check out that video. I think it's a good video. It's a theory that's been in the community for a long time and really just been building over time. Japanese Jim says, how much would someone need to hypothetically donate to watch 1015 on stream right now? Also, do you think Garp will die before the series ends? Let's not do that. Let's not do that. But shoot, I mean, if I watched it, it would be on Twitch. It wouldn't be on YouTube. But... No, I just don't want to. Sorry, I just don't. Not that I don't want to watch it, because I do want to watch it at some point, but I don't want to turn it into, like, a stream activity. You know what I mean? Like, just let me, at some point in the day/night, when I'm in the mood, probably comfy, sitting somewhere, I'll probably pull up the episode and check it out. Word Your Man says, in the color spread, Zoro is in the same pose as he was in the candelabra. In the wax. It's okay. So Mr. Three Little Garden, right? There he said he would rather cut off his legs than die. What do you think Zoro will lose as a result of the mink meds? That is actually a really interesting point, but I don't know if Oda is making that definitive of like a callback or something like that. You know what I mean? Wait, the chat box is back? I did it? I see a chat box on the stream. How'd I do it? Jose Lario says, more just so mid, I swear. If I'm so mid, how'd I solve the chat box situation, huh? How did I solve the chat box situation? Morge mid? What's happening with Morge mid? What happened? I get the chat box to show up and you guys are mad? I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. I don't care what you guys have to say. Keenan B says, open super chat window, missed some after Great Kate. I am sorry about that. Let's take a look. By the way, with my new laptop, I can now freely open up other tabs, including the super chat window, so I'm basically never running behind, ever. Unless I forget to do certain things like Keenan just told me to. Alright, after Great Kate, I missed some stuff. After Great Kate, there was nothing after Great Kate. Ivan back from the card shop. I'm sorry, let me correct myself. Ivan back from the card shop says, what if Law needs to perform the surgery because of Big Mom's life steal? Also, am I close to pay to mod? Of course you are, Ivan. It's not a perfect system, so I don't remember everything, but I think I could just mod you from right here. Let's see. Can I mod you? Like this? I don't think I can mod you from this tab. Ivan, type your name into here and then I'll just mod you. Oh, Joy Girl's here. Add Milo Cake. Hello, your name makes me hungry. Seems like a strange thing to say as soon as you show up to this chat. Yeah, Ivan, you're just going to have to type your name in. You're going to have to type your name in. I'll spot you because I never miss a thing. And then I'll mod you. All right. Where are we at? Keenan says, can you imagine how big of a waste it would be if Thatch just ate the Yami Yami no Mi when he found it instead of Blackbeard getting it? Dude, I mean, it wouldn't be a waste because we all know what would happen. Blackbeard would kill him and take the fruit anyway. It's basically the same result happens no matter what. Yeah, shoutouts to Joy Girl. Check out her channel at some point that's not right now. Definitely not right now. Right now, you all stay right here. Nobody leave. Where's Ivan? I gotta mod him. The window is closing, but I'll remember to mod him as soon as I see him. Maggot King 556 says Morge is not mid. Don't listen to them. Well, now if you say I'm mid, then now that's just all they're gonna want to write. Don't say it in a super chat. Don't advertise it. No one's saying Morge is mid. How do I delete this comment? How do I delete Maggot King? Uninspired says favorite Western cartoon. Probably Avatar: The Last Airbender. Zaibatsu says, what's the most likely? Kaido awakens to deal with the giant fist. He tanks the fist and doesn't awaken. He loses to the fist, or flashbacks and we don't see what the fist does for a few chapters. I have no idea. My guess or my opinion would just be, I think Kaido might actually get hit by the fist, and I think Kaido might seem down and out for a moment, maybe. Similar to Luffy once he went down and out at the end of 1042 until 1043. I think we do get the flashbacks during that window. Great. Look what you did. Now they're all saying mid. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. What was your name? What was the name? It was a funny name. It's like Maggot something. Thanks a lot, Maggot guy. Maggot King 556. Thanks a lot. Zaibatsu says, what's the most like... No, we covered you. Luis Vasquez says, watch 1015, Warge. I do want to watch 1015 at some point. At some point. I lied. I don't want to watch 1015, but I just know I'm supposed to because I'm a One Piece YouTuber and I'm told it's good. And I do think I'll enjoy it. I do legitimately think I'll enjoy it. I'm just not excited for general reasons about the anime, you know? Let's see. Okay, I think we're caught up. At this point. All right, Uninspired says... No, we covered you. Axator says, I saw that you got an interest in Enneagram. In Enneagram. Do you have any plans on exploring the Straw Hats' Enneagram typology or for their character development? Enneagram is the one that goes along with MBTI, or is that different? Can someone clarify for me? Because I know what MBTI stuff is. I don't know Enneagram, though, too well. I just know that it goes with that. Joy Girl says, not right now, right after, not now. Yeah, all right, that's the plan. Go check out Joy Girl's channel after this channel. Joy Girl, are you streaming or something today? Because I know that there used to be a bit of a competing streaming conflict where people would just defect and leave and go to the cool kid stream. First name, last name. If Blackbeard pirates take Moria's fruit, whose corpse do you think they might use? Whitebeard rocks. If Blackbeard pirates take Moria's fruit, would you even want Moria's fruit? I guess for that reason. Whose corpse do you think they might use? Whitebeard or rocks? I think, probably, I feel like rocks would be more interesting. So I'll say rocks. I just don't know if they would do that either way. Data Deficient says, I wonder if Luffy's awakening could stretch the seas to break the red line to create the all blue. Luffy's awakening could stretch the seas to break the red line to create the all blue. I don't know, but I don't think that that's really how that would work, in my opinion. Chinho Wong says, I miss Joy Girl streams. Chinho was one of the premier defectors. No worries whatsoever about abandoning this stream and running away to another one. But guess what? This stream is consistent, which is more that can be said about Joy Girl streams. Am I right? You guys are happy to be here. I can tell. You love it. You know, no matter how much you spam mid. Right? If you say no, I'm going to take chat away again. First name, last name says, if Blackbeard pirates... No, we covered you. We covered this. Sanjay V says, I'll give you $5 to watch all of the episodes directed by Ishitani. The amount you would have to pay me to watch multiple One Piece episodes, like a string of One Piece episodes. It's actually insane. I wouldn't... It would actually legitimately be quite a bit of money. I don't want to watch a bunch of One Piece episodes. Joel Mesa says, do you think Kaido will awaken to tank Luffy's punch? So we kind of just covered that. I think he might actually just take the punch and maybe even be out of it for a bit. I have no idea. I just think that the punch is not going to finish him. It's really, really hard to tell right now. Is he going to take the punch? Is he going to avoid the punch? Is he going to stop the punch? Awaken, stop the punch? I don't know. Ivan back from the card shop says, I'll just super chat again. Oh, thank you, man. All right. Added as moderator. Paid to mod. Everyone can still pay to mod. It's just I usually forget after a bit. Behanort says, you should watch Owl House. It's the best Western cartoon since Avatar The Last Airbender, and last episode was traumatizing, and it's ending soon. 5 episodes and a movie. Okay. If like 15 other people tell me to watch Owl House, I might consider it. But this is the first time I've ever heard that name, ever. So for me, I'm like, listen, Behanort, I trust you, but I don't trust you that much. Keep in mind, it's a struggle to get me to watch One Piece episodes. And I'm a One Piece YouTuber. So think about how difficult it would be to get me to watch Owl House, which is something I've never heard of before and is apparently getting canceled, according to you. And it also doesn't even make sense. Owls don't live in houses. They live in trees and stuff. Maybe nests. I don't know. I'm not an owl specialist. I know they don't live in houses. I have a belief that humans are the only ones who build houses. It's my personal belief. Randy Troy says savage, contributing to the conversation. Can anybody else vouch for Owl House? Anyone else gonna vouch for Owl House? Now they just want to say savage. Look what you did. All right, we're good. Nobody's saying Owl House, so I think that I can, peace of mind, I can easily ignore that and never watch that again. Disaster Master says, regular show, greater. No, I'm not watching that regular show shit. That regular show, is that the shit with the bird and like the dog/raccoon thing? I'm never watching that. Oh, Eric's here. What's going on? Why are so many people here today? Eric's here. Eric, I ought to ban you. Cole says, any theories about next levels of Haki that presumably Shanks will show us? Presumably Shanks will show us. No, Luffy will show us the next level of Haki. Haki revealed, most important to strength, color of conquering coding, surely not peak. I think there's more to Advanced Conqueror's Haki that we will see by the end of this Wano arc. Video coming out tomorrow on Devil Fruits versus Haki. I think it's a good one. So watch out for tomorrow's video. Why would I ever say that tomorrow's a bad video? I would just never say that, would I? So, you can trust me on that, but at the same time, I have tremendous incentive to lie. I do think tomorrow's video is good, though. The FPS Kings Gaming says, paid to say Owl House isn't good. Reddit humor. Oh, God, and I've certainly never used Reddit in my life, am I right? Keenan says, I can't vouch for Owl House, but I can vouch for Savage Heat on Feet. All right. Is everyone just coming in to advertise their own stuff, huh? Jorgel comes in, starts talking about how great her stream is. Randy comes in, starts talking about Savage, Heat on Feet, dropping links to his merch. Eric comes in just talking about Shanks. You guys are so predictable. Everyone just wants to promote themselves, of course. Watch my video tomorrow. Everybody watch my video tomorrow. Zilda B says, do you think Blackbeard never sleeping, thus never having experienced a literal dream, is significant at all? Also, happy B-Day, Morge. That sounds like a really, what? It's not my... That last sentence that just flew straight over my head. I didn't even notice. Oh, guys, like the stream. We have 1,000 viewers. I think we should have 1,000 likes. That math adds up in my head. It's not my birthday. It's actually not even close to my birthday. It's actually almost the furthest in the year you can be away from my birthday. Oh, that's not true. That's not true, but it's not my birthday. Blackbeard never sleeping, thus never having experienced a little dream is significant. I think symbolically it's a significant little thing. I don't think it's literally significant in the story. It's going to be a big deal that Blackbeard never dreamed anything, literally dreamed anything in his life. But I do think symbolically it's a nice little thing to have. Darren Weich says, get you to watch One Piece episodes. What about 10-15? We just discussed this. I might watch 10-15. But I will not watch a bunch of Ishitani episodes. Eric Trolato says regular show is good. Well, that's one show I'm never watching. Supreme Pirate King says, can you see Luffy giving Blackbeard his devil fruit in the final battle so he could truly prove himself as Roger's successor by relying on Haki only? My theory... No, definitely not. I think that fruit is probably very, very important to the final battle, which I do at this point. I used to be a non-believer, but I do at this point think, just based on the fruit, symbolism that comes with it, etc., that it's very likely that Luffy versus Im is a final matchup. It could still be Luffy versus Blackbeard. You don't know. because that was the side I was leaning to till the Fruit Awakening, that Luffy versus Blackbeard would be the final matchup. But I do think that the Fruit is very important for the future, but I do think that Haki, as is being brought up in this arc specifically, and following the Versus for Emperor saga, which has been very, very Haki focused, as well as the Wano arc itself, which is all about strength of spirit, I think the time that Haki is most important to Luffy's victory will be this arc. I'm Adventure says, if Raid fails, wouldn't the power-ups be premature? No. Because the idea is that they still have further to go. Disaster Master says, damn, Morge fell off. How much is mod? Well, each time you say that, it's an extra 5. Tuna Sub says, Morge, you converted me to a 2x speed watcher. Thank you. 2x speed is the way to watch. You can there's a little bit of an adjustment period. Because your brain obviously not wired for that just yet. So it takes a little bit. I would recommend trying 1.25 speed at first, and you're like, wow, I'm saving so much time, I'm amazing. And then after a bit, you try 1.5, and then after you try 1.5, you're just gonna be like, fuck it, I can do it at 2x speed. Watching at 2x speed is like the ultimate time saver, because unless I never do it for anything that's entertainment, right? So if I'm watching a show or like an actual, like a comedy video, show, narrative work, or whatever, right? I'm not gonna watch like an episode on 2x speed. That defeats the point. But anything that's informational. So, even that stupid shit like people on ESPN yelling at each other, right? I'll watch that on 2x speed because it's just like, just want to kind of hear what they have to say or whatever, what they want to yell at each other. I'll watch it on 2x speed. Informative video, how to do things, curse the gods, shit like that, 2x speed. Just makes it so much better. You save so much time. You guys, everybody try it. I want everybody try it right now, all right? Everybody try it. Not for this stream. You obviously can't watch that at 2x speed. But we're all going to make an oath. Starting today, you all for the next week will watch things at 1.25 times speed. All right? I will check back on with all of you next Monday. You will all thank me. I will graciously accept. And then we'll move on to 1.5x speed. All right? I'm going to change your life over the course of these next few weeks. You'll be shocked at how much time that you begin to save. Supreme Pirate King says, Luffy giving Blackbeard his devil fruit would align with that Blackbeard as the false bringer of the dawn theory a user in the past mentioned. Yes, I don't think that Luffy would give Blackbeard his devil fruit, but I do think Blackbeard could temporarily acquire it for a little bit. Stop wishing me a happy birthday. It is not my birthday, and I don't know how I feel about this. Mark Ross says, Chapter 432, Garp lights his fist on fire when disciplining Luffy. With what we know now, is that just a gag or hint to the Lunarian heritage in Luffy's family? I'm just going to take it as a gag, dude. I think it's so much easier to just assume most fire-based shit is gags, because otherwise, then just, like, everyone becomes Lunarian. Like, Zoro set Zoro set Ryuma on fire when he cut him with a, like, fire-starting attack. Is Zoro fucking Lunarian? I don't think so. Khalil Ladoucier says, I like this girl. How do I get her to watch One Piece? Do you want to keep the girl or do you want to get her to watch One Piece? Because you can only really do one of those two things. To be honest, there is actually a full video that I made on how to get people to start One Piece. It's actually very easy to find because I think it's the only video out there on the internet about how to get people to start One Piece. It actually gives you a full guide on how to get anybody to try One Piece. CLB says, what do you think is the worst video you've made? The worst video I've made? Jesus Christ. That's probably the worst. There's several videos that could probably fall into that category. I think, like, there have been weeks. These don't happen nowadays. But there was definitely a point where I was having to kind of phone it in just because I wanted to keep the channel's algorithm kind of rolling, but I was really split for time. Nowadays, it's not like that. But there was definitely a period, maybe like last year or something like that, where some low level videos came out. I think like my worst videos are ones where I have to where I'm trying to force it, where it's like, oh, you know what? Like, I need to do a video this week. I have to do a video this week. That hasn't happened that much recently. Okay, like recently there's been like so much to talk about and so many backlogged ideas that I could talk about that it just fits, right? But like way back when, I did a video on like me guessing the Toby Roppo Devil Fruits. I didn't even have good ideas for the Toby Roppo Devil Fruits, and I knew I didn't, but it was just like, Toby Roppo were just introduced. I should do a video talking about them. The best thing I can do is try and guess their Devil Fruits. And like for me personally, I can never, like, if I'm trying to force a theory, it's probably just a really bad theory. It's like, oh, I need to make a theory about, I don't know, like Im or something. If I had to make a theory about Im, I would probably make a bad theory, because for me that's just not how it works. I think other people are maybe better at like being like, oh, let me go clue finding or something like that. For me, it's like the other way, where like a lot of other small things have to add up to make me suddenly come to a conclusion and be like, oh, I think that this thing makes sense, and then I backtrack and kind of put together all of the pieces that made sense to me for that. So I think like the Tobi Roppo fruits, that was like a remarkably bad video in my opinion. It was just like, I was literally just forcing myself. I was like, what makes sense for this guy? What makes sense for this guy? So that was a bad fruit. Not bad fruit, bad video. Randy says, you can watch 1015, man. Don't be that guy. 1015 is an exception. I've already promised the people, Randy, that I will watch 1015 at some point. Some people were trying to make me watch it on stream. I believe it's good. I definitely believe it's good. So many people have said that it's like amazing, really special. People that I have reason to believe. So I definitely believe it's good. The only thing holding me back is kind of just what I've said a few times. Like, it's hard for me to feel immersed in the anime experience when I know everything that it's sandwiched in between. So it's hard for me to like kind of tune back into that world, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, tune back in and really try and make myself just enjoy, the characters, the voices, the music, everything like that. Because just the sense of immersion for me in the anime was basically just broken at some point. And it's very hard for me to just turn that off and on, for a single episode. You know what I mean? So I will watch it at some point, but not at this very moment, not unless I'm trying to get this video taken down by Toei. Anime Dimension says, who do you think will win between Luffy with Gear 5th and Luffy with no Devil Fruit, only using all Hakis? Just Haki Luffy would destroy Luffy, who just has Gear 5th. Like, there's a huge, like, Luffy with just Gear 5th, Luffy with just the Nika Awakening is strong, but the, like, it's like not even close to, like, I go into this a little bit in tomorrow's video, but you have to remember, like, Haki is the only reason Luffy can fight evenly with Kaido whatsoever, right? The boost that Luffy got with the Awakening, that's on top of everything else that he already had Haki-wise, right? And all it's really done is taken him from going about even with Kaido to having a bit of the upper hand against Kaido, but it's still inconclusive, right? Like, it's like giving him a solid new edge, right? So, like, imagine Haki is like this giant bar that's like 99% or 95%, and then the Awakening is like this extra 5% that pushes him over the edge, basically. Because, like, without Haki, like, it's like you can't even damage Kaido without Haki. You can't, like, Conqueror's Haki is what allows Luffy to, like, split the sky and shit with Kaido. Like, it puts him on this, that's what puts him in Yonko tier, as they would say, as the kids would say, basically, right? Just Devil Fruit Awakening, like, that, you can't even damage Kaido. Like, you literally can't do anything to Kaido if he just had his Devil Fruit. Like, that's how big of a gap it is. And then not just that, but, like, he can't dodge Kaido. No future sight. You can't, or why am I talking about Luffy versus Kaido? Luffy versus himself. You can't dodge. No future sight. You can't deal damage. No armament Haki. No advanced Conqueror's Haki. Right? It's basically, honestly, a very weak character overall if it's just a Devil Fruit. We've seen it so many times in One Piece that just a Devil Fruit is not that strong. Music Factor says, do you think Blackbeard has Conqueror's Haki? He arguably has kingly qualities that the Conqueror's users have, but I don't sense indomitable willpower coming from him, which seems crucial. I would say that just looking in the vein of characters like Law, Sanji, etc., Blackbeard is much closer to a Trafalgar Law in terms of how he operates, and the way that, and these types of characters do not have King's quality, right? They don't have Conqueror's Haki. I wouldn't be surprised if Blackbeard does. I may have misjudged him, may have misread him, but based on the things he's done so far, it's not how Oda writes Kings approaching things, right? Kings take everything head on, and that's a consistent quality that Oda has written for all Conqueror's Haki users. They don't back down, and they prefer to take things head on. Whereas certain characters, like a Blackbeard, like a Trafalgar Law, they just don't operate like that. That doesn't mean they're cowards or whatever, because Blackbeard obviously has to have, like, huge balls to do the things that he does. But how he operates, it's more of a schemer, calculated risks, stuff like that, taking gambles at right times, things like that. He will walk back and away from a fight if he doesn't feel like the opportunity is right, right? And that is, like, we saw that in Marineford as soon as Shanks showed up, right? And that is just not how these king-type characters are written to operate. Like, classic example is, like, Kaido shows up in Kuri, right? Law is not a coward, but Law just doesn't think that, you know, he doesn't want to fight Kaido right now. He doesn't think it's smart to fight Kaido right now. So Law runs away. Luffy doesn't care. King shows up in my area. I need to take you down. What's the point of waiting on this whole plan thing? I'm just going to go at it right away. Zoro's face can be seen in the new cover art. Gotta check it again. I don't know what that means. Happy Father's Day, Morge. All right, let me catch up. Music Factor says, you seem to be skipping my super chats. Did I? I swear I just... Hold on. Let me pull up the new tab. Let me pull up the super chat. No, I got you. Just a little bit late. Just takes a bit. Disaster Master says, so you watch King of Lightning on 1x speed then? Because that man is not information. It depends. Like, if I'm looking for, like, a reaction, like, if I'm watching a reaction YouTube or something, I'll probably 2x speed parts of it that aren't interesting, and then, like, you know, the part that I want to see the reaction to, I'll probably watch it full speed. But yeah, like, normally something like that's entertainment. I'd probably watch at 1x speed, because you're just watching for a different purpose. Luis Vasquez says, Berserk analysis when? Also, happy birthday. Berserk analysis, dude, that stuff is... I wish I could give you guys a timeline. Let's let some stuff die down in Wano, right? So let's let an act conclude or something like that. Let's let Luffy defeat Kaido or Kaido defeat Luffy or whatever. Like, let's let some stuff play out in One Piece before I start trying to do more series, basically, just because right now the fact is One Piece is hot. I would like there to be a bit of a lull. Like, let's have a bit of a cooldown period. Let's let maybe Act 4 start or something like that before I start getting into other series. But I've been itching to do other series for a little bit now. Definitely. It's just that there's so much to talk about One Piece-wise right now that I just... one, it's just smart to talk about it because there's so much going on. And two, I'm enjoying doing One Piece content quite a bit right now. Princess Taco, haven't seen you in a bit. Weekly tribute, I'm sorry, I haven't really been active in the chat. Yeah, no worries. I'm finishing up with my current semester. Yeah, school comes first. Well, it's not accurate. Morge, stream/entertainment, school, but I could see why some people would try and push school above. I don't know. Whatever floats your boat, but, you know, I think I'm supposed to say school comes first. Happy no birthday, Morge. Well, now I'm actually less happy. Now, I didn't realize I missed out. I didn't realize how much I enjoyed people telling me it's my birthday until you just told me happy no birthday. So now I'm actually a little bummed out. Milo Cake says, congrats on your engagement. Well, you're just confused. Brandon King back on the birthday train with a cake. Thank you. Ivan back from the card shop. Newly added mod. Everyone say hi to Ivan. Do you think there's significance... to Blackbeard's double pain like Luffy's bouncing. There's significance to Blackbeard's double pain like Luffy's bouncing back, or your kid theory also 2x speed is king. Yes, I do think that Blackbeard taking more pain than everybody else is significant. Might reflect like his dynamic with his sisters or something like that Oda's hinted at, but I don't know. I think Blackbeard's just going to be one of the most interesting characters to find out about. And probably someone that'll make us feel really, really, really fucking sad for. Behenort says, great thing about Owl House. No, enough about Owl House. Main romance is great. Bellos is a great villain. Spoilers. Stop spoiling me on Owl House. Stop spoiling me on Owl House. Hunter is Zuko of this generation. Now I feel like I know the whole story. And there's even Sakuga. Really great. Well, now I just don't need to watch Owl House. You just told me everything. Thanks, Behenort. Music Factor says you seem to be skipping my super chats. Not true. Check the VOD. Just Lol says, did you know originally Blackbeard was supposed to be stronger than an admiral when he first ate the darkness fruit? Because originally his body was also going to be darkness, hence he would absorb all attacks. Is this like sourced from somewhere? Is this like a thing? Is this sourced from somewhere? It's an interesting idea. Pocus Hocus says, hey Morge, love your channel. How many years of publication do you think One Piece has left? 5 years like Oda stated? I think One Piece will end at like chapter like 1300 or something like that. So just reverse engineer how many chapters it takes to get there. Mr. Crescent says, I don't know why people say you don't like the Wano story. You care for Momo shows that you are connected with a character in Wano. I know you only want better for story. I personally think that a lot of people are happy with the fact that, like, okay, Zoro got a fight. Okay, Sanji got a fight. Okay, Luffy's doing some cool stuff against Kaido. And I think a lot of people are satisfied with basically just that much happening. And, like, you know, cool fruit reveal, cool Haki reveals, things like that. Got to see Kid and Law use their awakenings and fight in tandem. I think a lot of people are basically happy with that type of thing basically happening. So that's pretty much it. Like, to me, it's like, okay, I could get into everything else that I think matters in the story, but it just wouldn't be productive for this stream. KYD says, hi Morge, I love you and I love this manga that brings us together to talk about it. Thank you, KYD. I appreciate you. I don't love you. I don't know you. But I also love this manga. People also don't understand that I love One Piece. Like, like, there's nothing that could happen, I think I realized at some point, that, like, would make me not love One Piece. Because even if I'm not enjoying it all the time, which is definitely the case, it's just been a part of my life, and I've, like, followed it, and it's just been such a staple in my life for so long. And, like, especially because I didn't talk about it for so many years, right? For so many years, like, among my social circles and stuff, I did not talk anime, basically. I did not mention that I'm a fan of, like, anime, manga, etc. in general, and I definitely didn't, like, go in-depth into my love for One Piece or whatever, right? So it was, like, this secret joy that I basically had that I could always go back to and look forward to. So my love for One Piece is basically, it's too deeply ingrained. I literally don't know what would have to happen for me to, like, stop loving One Piece. Maybe if, like, Oda killed off Luffy and then made, like, I don't know, Beppo the main character or something. Like, there's things that would make me stop loving One Piece, but I've realized at this point, even if I'm not enjoying One Piece, it's probably kind of like just, you know, the way you love, you know, someone you've been married to for like 30 years or something, you know? You don't always have to like them, but that deep-rooted connection is just always there. Japanese Jim says, how tall are you? I am 5'11", or 180 centimeters for you foreign people who are using that weird system. Vinicius, I think there was one stream where, who remembers when I had the bookshelf in the back? When I had the bookshelf in the back, I think one time I walked out of the room, right? And I came back and I saw everybody spamming like, holy shit, Morge is so tall. Morge is like 6'5" or something, because I towered over that bookshelf. Guys, the bookshelf just wasn't that tall. It was mostly just a short bookshelf. But I think I fooled a lot of people right then. A lot of people were like, holy shit, Morge is a giant. The bookshelf barely comes up to his shoulder. It's like, yeah, just because... It's mostly just because it's not the best bookshelf in the world. That's why it's been moved out, because it was constructed literally backwards, and it was too short. The bookshelf was just lacking in many ways. Also, I had nothing to put on it. Vinicius Gomes says, do you believe Conquerors has a part on Awakening? All the Awakened Devil Fruit users have Conquerors. Not true. The Impel Down Guards, all Awakened users. Also, Law, Awakened user, doesn't have Conquerors. It's just, I think it's very unrelated. TY says, you're caught up to Black Clover. Yes, and I also went through the Black Clover fan cycle of basically hating how that arc ended. I was ready to drop the series. Like, I had closed the book on Black Clover based on how that last arc had ended, because I was absolutely certain, like there was more to it, right? And I was just like, fuck, the arc ended. There's not more to it. But then, spoilers, new chapter dropped, and there was more to it all along, so I was like, yeah, all right, back on the Black Clover train. And also, just, like, the more that I never was into Black Clover enough that I would ever, like, watch videos of people talking about it and stuff, but the new development was interesting enough that it made me actually go, like, check out some videos of people talking about it and breaking down how far back planned and how meticulously thought out this whole recent twist was, and how it recontextualizes so much of the story. And I was more and more impressed, and I was basically just like, you know, I'm back to enjoying Black Clover. I was very impressed by the vision that Tabata had for the story, because everything was very clearly leading up to this current new development. And so that did lead me to tweeting out something which I never did think I would at any point. But like A lot of people hate on Black Clover online for like no real like people act like it's like the worst shit ever when really it's just like not exceptional. It's just like pretty decent, and it doesn't claim to be very original in a lot of shonen ways, but it does a lot of shonen things well. And I think most importantly, the author has a very clear-cut idea of the next events, and like not just the next events, but like every stage of the story and what every stage of the story is developing towards, which that's something that I said is rare in manga, which a lot of people took offense to, but that's too bad. It's just true. You can look at a lot of stories and tell basically points in their construction where they kind of like did not have things planned out, or where like this idea was developing, but then it turned into these ideas, and then like clearly they didn't have this conflict fully planned out, stuff like that, right? And if you just like listen to mangaka's interviews about the life of a mangaka, yeah, it's obvious why very few of them have it planned all the way out, because it's basically just being like you get okayed for your manga, and then after that you're just pumping out content non-stop week after week, and you're drawing and you're writing the current dialogue, etc. It's hard to plan out far ahead. Frankie, wait, no, hold on. We're pretty far. Okay. Zaibatsu says, regardless of whether Oda has said, because we know by now it doesn't matter, how many years until One Piece realistically can end? I just mentioned this, so I think like somewhere between 1,200 to 1,300 chapters, so count that in years as you may. Jimmy Striker says, happy birthday. Favorite villain in the series? For me, favorite villain right now is probably Kaido. Like, for me, Kaido's the most interesting, most fun villain. By far the most interesting, and I think that's pretty cool considering we still have not gotten his flashback, and I think maybe some of his most important character moments. Before Kaido was Crocodile. Ivan back from the card shop says, Frankie mentions the pacifistas seem like they're made from humans like him, but they all look like Kuma. What do you think their secret might be? Might be something connected to, I think it follows that branch of Germa science, creating, soldiers, etc., tying into working with Vegapunk. So like you kind of go from that branch of like creating super soldiers into Vegapunk's work of basically like creating soldiers that look a certain way, right? All look a certain way. They all happen to look like Kuma, so have that intimidation factor, I assume, of a Shichibukai, and then working in the cyborg enhancements and everything like that. That's my best guess off the top. Frankie K Dynamite says, can Chopper learn Conqueror Haki because of his Devil Fruit? I don't think so. I don't think that his Devil Fruit enables him to learn Conqueror. That's just not how it works as far as we know. Tofi2000 says, hey, Warge, here's a new one. Thanks. Haven't been called Warge in a long while. Do you think One Piece will have a really big... One Piece... I forgot that these are the questions you ask. One Piece will have a really big plot point that probably won't meet... Oh, no, this is a different one. One Piece will have a really big plot point that probably won't meet the community's expectations. That's just inevitable. I think that's just inevitable. Like, there's going to be some plot point that doesn't meet people's expectations. Off the top of my head, if I had to say something right now that I think probably won't meet people's expectations, I think... Shoot. I don't know, because, like, it's so hard. Like, I just like to imagine that, like, everything will be really, really good. So, I don't know what won't meet people's expectations. Yeah, I don't know. I'll get back to you on that one. Oh, you know what? Maybe Sabo. I don't know if that's a plot point, though. I think... No, never mind. I have nothing to say on that. I'll leave that alone. Steven Bracano, what's up? How does Luffy having a special fruit affect his relationship with Blackbeard, considering it was supposed to be Luffy making the most with his basic devil fruit? I kind of want to avoid that type of stuff, like, because this has come up a little bit this stream. There's a bigger idea here that I think makes sense, but it's such a whack idea that I almost don't want to mention here. It's like a really whack idea. I think bottom line at the end of the day, yeah, Luffy probably has a basic, or like a special fruit, but I think Blackbeard... I'll say this for now, even though this isn't like my full belief, but let's say with the assumption that let's say with the going assumption that everybody kind of has of how that fight will go, right? Luffy with his Zoan fruit and Blackbeard with probably 3 fruits. I think Blackbeard might just have so many broken... If we're going with that assumption, then I would say Blackbeard has so many broken fruits that there's a case to be made that it's just much bigger of a deal than Luffy's Devil Fruit. And then you got the sun versus the darkness, that sort of a thing. But my actual feelings and theories on that are so strange. I probably won't share him until I see at least one more thing happen in the story. TP for Bunghole says, what are your thoughts on a chance of a Buster Call happening towards the end of Wano arc since the Gorosei no Luffy's fruit? So I've said this a couple times before in the past, but Buster Calls are not a big deal at all anymore. I think that there are many characters you could pick out from the Alliance who could step outside right now and solo a Buster Call. Like, they could take care of it on their own. A Buster Call is really not a big deal at this point. Like, at this point, the thing that would be required, like, to put into context, we're talking about basically Yonko level forces at this point. Like, I'm not just talking about the Yonko themselves, like Luffy, Kaido, Big Mom stuff. I'm talking about like Yonko level empires, right? Like, you've got all the Beast Pirates here. You've got a giant Straw Hat Alliance here, right? To fight a force like this, like a Yonko-sized force, right? With the captains themselves, the commanders, subordinates, the foot soldiers, etc., the numbers. You need to shell out like the Marineford arc type cavalry, basically. You need to assemble a lot of forces if you want to go after Yonko-sized crews, basically, right? So a Buster Call would basically be fodder at this point. Zaibatsu says, will you be disappointed if we don't get to see Shanks, Dragon, and Garp fight properly before the end of the series? I fear their battles happening to the side like Akainu and Aokiji and others. No, because the difference, like Akainu and Aokiji, we got to see them fight and show off their abilities plenty of times, you know, throughout the Marineford War, even a little bit before that for Aokiji. So it's not like we don't, like, I think it's very unlikely that Oda just doesn't show characters fight. It's just he's not going to show every fight. So something like Akainu Aokiji, Oda clearly decided that's best left for the viewer's imagination, right? We saw how they fight at Marineford, which is why it's a cool concept. Like, okay, well, if how they fought, like, I'll just tell you that they fought each other at one point, and I'll tell you what the victor was and what the fight was like 10 days long, and it reshaped the scale of this island, the climate of this island. But that's all cool because it's left to our imagination. I know a lot of people don't think it's cool that Oda didn't show that fight, but I'm saying, like, just because Oda has left some things to the imagination doesn't change the fact that he still ultimately shows people fight. He just doesn't show every fight. I think it'd be very shocking if, like, Shanks or Dragon, who have never gotten a fight, they had their fights off screen, because then it's no longer, like, entertaining or kind of teasing the reader. Then it's just, like, you're not showing the reader what the reader really wants to see, right? Because we did get to see a Kainu fight. We did get to see a Aokiji fight. You guys get what I'm saying. Disaster Master says, y'all really hyping the mid-trick system in the chat. Oh, fuck. I'm pretty far behind. You guys are complaining about centimeters? Centimeters suck. All right? I grew up with good old-fashioned, you know, yards, inches, feet. These are the things that a society is built upon. KYD says, have you been watching Ranking of Kings? I'm not caught up. I think I took a break around episode 18, and I've yet to catch up since then. Behanort says, these are not really spoilers, LMAO. You're probably joking. I am joking, Behanort, just to be clear. Sometimes I don't know how clear it is. There are people, I think, who sometimes if they come to the stream, then they're not sure when when I'm being serious versus when I'm joking. So, you know, Behanort, you're a regular, so I think you're aware. You're saying, but seriously, please watch it one day. That show means a lot to me. Behanort, I will probably not watch it, even though what you said was touching, but I will consider it, and I will look into it and probably check it out on Wikipedia after this. And if it's on an available streaming service, I might check it out at some point. Mr. Crescent says, fave Bleach fight. Ichigo versus Kenpachi, underrated. Bleach had some good-ass fights. I'll say from an anime perspective, I thought Ichigo versus Grimmjow was awesome. In the anime, it was just great. It was just like a full, keep in mind, I was like a One Piece fan back then. I hadn't expanded into a bunch of anime, right? So going from like One Piece, which is cool, but it doesn't have like the best fights, you know what I mean? Like even animated, like I think Luffy versus Lucci was the first really, really, really well done fight in the anime, or like generally well done fight in the anime. So to go from like One Piece to Bleach, where like characters are shooting energy blasts and stuff like that, and they're swinging swords, and like everything's happening really, really fast, and the animation's generally more fluid and sharp and everything like that. Yeah, Ichigo versus Grimmjow really, really stood out. In the manga, I think it's Ichigo versus Grimmjow, which I then went to read in the manga, was not as good. I think the anime really elevated that one. Behanort says, in the manga, I'd say Ichigo versus Ulquiorra was better. Behanort says, did you see the posts about the clock in recent Black Clover arc? If this is real, this is some Goda shit. Yeah, that's kind of what I was referencing. I was trying not to do spoilers and stuff for people, but like, this is the type of thing where, like, Black Clover had such a cool development that, like, I actually did go down a bit of a rabbit hole of, like, watching videos, watching people who study the series more closely than I do basically explain to me things that I've missed or things that have been happening basically throughout this whole arc, and not just through this arc, but throughout this whole series, that are really impressive and show a lot of planning. So that was when I went out and I just praised Black, because, like, you could always tell Black Clover had a really good story structure in mind in terms of, like, the points when the characters got the moments that mattered to them. And, like, you could see how each character has a clear track of evolution and how he's planned out, like, this arc is going to be about this step happening for these characters, then this step happening for these characters, then this stuff is going to come together here, which will do this. Like, you could tell that. I thought he had kind of lost the script, or, like, I thought I'd really overestimated him as a writer, or, like, at least as a planner, because Tabata's not, like, a insanely innovative writer or anything like that, but, like, he just does the things properly, like, the way you're supposed to or whatever, in the most basic way, in my opinion. But, like, still delivering on something enjoyable. I thought all of that went out the window in my head after what happened like a couple chapters ago, and now it's come all the way back around as soon as I've seen the most recent development, which is honestly very impressive. Like, no matter what you think about Black Clover, I think the most recent development is very, very impressive. I've been back from the card shop since I used to have a theory Luffy would punch through Marijoa all the way through the planet to destroy the Red Line. Yeah, I mean, that's something that, like, I've talked about. You can check out the end of One Piece video, which I've promoted twice in this now, but I think it's a relevant video. Check out the end of One Piece video. I touch on that. It might be along the lines of what you're thinking right now. All right, now we're caught up. Oh, people really don't like the Imperial system is mid. I don't even know what system we have, because I'm American. We don't need to learn, like, we don't need to learn, like, the specific things. Like, we just need to know, like, what our system is, and then everything else to us is just, like, it's just, like, some other system out there that exists. Like, what's the Imperial system? Are we the Imperial system? I guess we're the, like, America's the Imperial system, right? Because I know the other one's the metric system. But, as far as I'm concerned, there's, like, the real system, and then the other guy's system. That's just the way it rolls. That's just the way it is here. You can't blame me for thinking that. That's just the way I was. That's the way I was taught. I was raised that way in school. Blame the culture. Blame our shitty American culture. I'm just a victim of the way I was raised. Hawkbox says, back at school, what were your best/worst subjects? Actually, that's a good segue. Best/worst subjects were basically anything. Okay, so my best/worst subjects were basically entirely dependent on, sorry, there's a sound going on outside. Don't know how much that's affecting you guys. My best/worst subjects were entirely based on how much work that class required in terms of homework, because you don't understand. I just did not do homework when I was in school. I just did not do homework. I would do homework because it's not like I just didn't turn in homework. I would basically, like, complete 40 to 60% of homework, because I would, like, do it either on the bus to school or before class started or during other classes. So if one class is lecturing, then I'm trying to just scribble homework for, like, math class or something like that in the back, basically. So I just wouldn't do homework. I don't know why. Like, I mean, I do know why. Like, I just didn't do. I had no accountability at home for parents or anything like that, basically, because both my parents were working. So I didn't do homework. I just did not do homework. So because of that, classes like, English, history, like reading, etc., those were very, very easy because they don't demand much homework except for, like, a paper once in a while. And I can sit down at home and just do a paper. Like, that's normal. And that was something that I was very good at, because, like, that's asking you to do homework once in a while, right? Math, I would just not do homework. I just would not do homework whatsoever. If I got time during school or on the bus or whatever, I would try and knock out the math homework or whatever. But because I would turn in homework so infrequently, math I did not do well, because math requires you to do homework every single fucking day. The teachers are just like, you guys have this experience, I'm sure, right? Math homework required every single day. Other end of the spectrum, the more you go towards social sciences, the less and less they require homework. So for me, it was like a sliding scale, not in terms of, like, how good I was at a given subject, but how much homework it required. because I just wouldn't do homework. That's just, I don't know. It was probably some sort of a an issue or something like that. Maybe I had ADD or something but everybody nowadays gets diagnosed with that. So like, I just didn't want to do it. Yeah, that's basically it. Cause like, I don't want to go any deeper basically into explaining school stuff, but like, college was a lot easier just because college demands homework way less. So it was much easier to just get good grades and everything, because if you only have to show up and try on tests and like one occasional big piece of homework like a semester or something, that's perfect. Because I would do things if they're required once in a while, but it's not a regular homework doer. Tanzim Chowdhury says, do you think Kaido still has an awakening to show us? Do you think Kaido still has an awakening to show us? Yes. Definitely. G4162 says, do you feel Shanks will ever have some sort of a battle with Luffy as a test or something else? Probably no, but it's interesting. Yeah, I definitely think so at Elbaf. I definitely think at Elbaf, Shanks is going to basically challenge Luffy to a Davy back fight. Braga Diaz just donated $50, so I unfortunately have to be very appreciative. So thanks, Braga, for the 50. He said, happy 21st, bro. I'm not. It's not my birthday. I'm not 21. What the fuck is this? Thanks, Braga. I really appreciate you coming in and telling me I'm 21. Terry Martin says, turns out I legally couldn't drink a week ago. I didn't know that. Terry Martin says, think of 1015 as a short film, easier to be immersed. I will try and go in with that mentality, Terry Martin. Because, again, I do believe it'll be good. Day6192000 says, have you watched The Sopranos? Better than Breaking Bad. Sopranos I've watched in the weirdest way. I've watched basically in bits and pieces, so I've gotten most of the story, but I've watched it through parts. Does that make sense? So I think I get the gist of The Sopranos, basically. Like, I know all the characters, and I know the general plot lines just really out of order. So I know the gist of The Sopranos. Look, Breaking Bad, I think that there's not going to be a TV show that passes up Breaking Bad for me. Not even in terms of quality or whatever, but just because, like, at the time that I watched Breaking Bad, like, I watched Breaking Bad basically between senior year of high school and freshman year of college, which I guess according to Brago is like 3 years ago for me. So, but during that period of time, it's just a period of time where, like, you know, like, all your friends are in on the show. There's a huge amount of hype for the show, right? You're on that same train with everybody else, right? And it's very rare that everybody's on board with a certain show and it doesn't go off, like, everybody's on that train and that train doesn't go off the rails. I didn't think Breaking Bad's ending was great. I know a lot of people think it's a perfect ending. I thought it was solid, but all it really needed to be was pretty damn good, and I think it was pretty good, right? So just needed to be pretty good. Just take it home safe. I thought it was pretty good. And, like, that's the thing. You get to enjoy that show with everybody else. The environment, you know, the general buzz around the show, so much of that. And it was just, like, a more formative period of my life, I suppose. You know, like, you're leaving high school, going to college. You're in college. Breaking Bad is something that everybody kind of connects with at that time, right? It was just, yeah, you know, just you're watching it weekly. I think I'll never enjoy The Sopranos quite as much as... You know, I just don't think I'm going to enjoy another show as much as Breaking Bad just because of, at that time. At the time it was. I'll have you all know I could pass for 21, though. I look young as a 21-year-old, I guess. Hakbach says, nothing. Oh, I see. Missed the emoji / fruit. Grizzly Adam says, if Oda gives the other gods devil fruits, I hope it's something unexpected. Like Buggy has forest god fruit because you chop down trees, or the jacket fruit is rain god because you wear a jacket in the rain. I hope the Goma Goma no Mi, for me, is the only one that we really get that sort of a surprise for. I would rather not have a bunch of random fruits across the series turn out to be like some crazy important fruits. Ragadia says, don't mention it, brother. This is your day. Listen, Braga, you think this is funny to come into my chat, flex some cash, make fun of me for being 21 on my birthday? If you think that I'm going to play into this and, go to your stream at some point, donate like $50, $60, $100 to drop some little joke back, that's not happening. One, because you don't make me a mod. Two, because this is my money now and I'm keeping it. All right? This joke stops here. I'm not repaying this whatsoever. It's my birthday, damn it. I should get to keep this money. Alejandro Hernandez, thanks. Disaster Master says, can Brago's Dono buy me mod? That's not how it works. 8 Gates Production says, college XP or his XP? Also, where did you go to uni? So I think only foreign people say uni. Foreign people being not American. Yeah, I think only foreign people say uni. I shouldn't say it like that. That sounds mean for some reason. It's not mean. It's not mean. It's just, yeah, from my perspective, foreign. All right. Where did I go to? Oh, wait. Also, the question. I don't want to address the question. I'm not telling you guys where I went to college. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I'm not telling you guys where I went to college. You guys don't need to know certain information about me. Such as my name, where I live right now, etc. Matthew Holder says, Morge won't acknowledge me. I'm out of here. Peace, Matthew. You won't be missed. Hamda Jaled says, I think the first person confused your birthday with Tekkings. The first what? Okay. You'll enjoy 1015 on your own time. Any thoughts on 1047 you didn't mention in the review? Good to know. I believe I'll enjoy 1015. I've been saying I think I'll enjoy 1015. So many people have been saying it. Sorry, one sec. Saw another comment. Any thoughts on 1047 you didn't mention in the review? Thoughts on 1047 I didn't mention in the review? No, not really. I think like the review pretty much covers it. I guess if I really wanted to be speculative, I could talk more about how I think the ending will go, but there's just no point to it. The fist can play out so many different ways. I just don't think it ends with Luffy defeating Kaido with that giant fist. I really don't. I think he might take Kaido out for a moment, but I think that's the extent of it. Part here says, super chat from Aesop. Morge, how do you get so good at deconstructing stories? Happy birthday, BTW. Thanks, Aesop. I appreciate that. Not the birthday part. I'm so done with this birthday shit. The deconstructing stories, I personally think I could give the gist of it, right? I could say, obviously school plays a part, right? School plays a part, obviously. College plays a part, type of classes you take, obviously, to a degree. A lot of it is what you do yourself, so the type of content you consume. So not just like how many things you're, like how many different types of stories, media, whatever you're consuming, but also like, do you go watch other people's videos? Do you watch analysis on it? Do you watch like breakdowns of the things that you enjoy? Because that helps you think about it more, right? But then beyond that, a lot of it is just how much you're willing to do yourself. Because I think I personally became much better as I guess you could say, a story analyst as far as YouTubing story analysis. Look at that. YouTubing story analysis matters or is taken seriously in the grand scheme of things. I think I personally became better the more that I did this, because you just get better at, like, to me, the most important thing, which is like actively trying to deconstruct while you're reading or processing. So like if you are sitting down and as you're reading or whatever, you're actively taking notes on things that seem important, it becomes a million times easier to draw connections and see overarching trends. Okay. So if you just take notes, there's nothing much more complicated than that. If you just take notes while you're doing it, anytime something sticks out, any piece of dialogue that seems interesting, etc., etc. Because when I reference lots of pieces, like you know, the last video I did, or maybe 2 videos ago or whatever, like, oh, here's things that Kaido's been saying that matter. It's because, like, I'm not pulling that out of my ass or having to go back and reread. It's because those are things that I've written down and I can go back and look at and be like, okay, so tracking through the Wano arc right now, this was said, these things seem important, these connect to these things, it seems like this could happen, or like this seems like an idea that Oda's building that could be important. That's basically, if you just take notes, you're probably good. I want that hat says, do you think since Kaido coats himself in Conqueror's Haki and Base and Hybrid, do you think his dragon form is weak because it's too much to cover in Haki? That's an interesting explanation for it, but I don't know if Oda is necessarily thinking of it in that strict of a way, like it covers this much surface area necessarily. Miss Super Chat from Day6. Thanks, Phantom Greyfire. Do you think Green Bull has a crazy devil fruit? He's an admiral, so I think so. You know, admirals tend to. Oh, wait, I'm behind a little bit. Super chat from Aesop. Morch, how did you get so... Oh, no, we covered you. Thanks, Bart, here, by the way. Tuna Sub says, have you watched Better Call Saul? It's really good. So people have told me, for example, the editor/producer of this channel is a huge Better Call Saul fan, and he's told me many times that it's really, really good, and he said that it's better than Breaking Bad. And I've actually heard a few people say that it's better than Breaking Bad. And I actually don't think that that's, like... I'm totally open to that idea, because a lot of the... Like... I personally think that, you know, a lot of the best pieces of Breaking Bad, like so many great characters, obviously, but like you have Saul, you have Gus, you have Mike, a lot of the best characters, you're revisiting them and exploring their stories, so obviously good. And I wouldn't be surprised because Vince Gilligan, like Breaking Bad was generally overall getting better as a show as seasons progressed. I think season 4 was better than season 5, but that's about it. So you did see a general upwards trend in, I think, quality of writing, direction, etc. So I wouldn't be surprised if he, like, took another shot at that universe and with the skill level, like, you know, basically re-tackling that project from a different angle, but now, like, much more mature and much more solidified in vision. I wouldn't be surprised if it's better than Breaking Bad. So I'm excited to try that at some point. Hawkbox says, would you do a live stream with King of Lightning? I don't know. I used to think actually that King and I are just two total opposite ends of the spectrum or whatever, but I think we did what is it called? A captain's, like, not in terms of like personalities, but just like how we talk about the series or whatever. But we did a captain's cabin on Bensei, Mugiwara Mat B, now Bensei's channel. And we actually had a lot of similar opinions on like a lot of random stuff. So I think it would be fun. But in general, I try not to do too many One Piece collabs with other people at this point, just because I'm a little bit burnt out on just talking One Piece with other YouTubers over and over. Phantom Greyfire says, Miss Super from Day 6. Do you... No, we covered you. Covered you. I want that hat. Covered you. Sorry, it's a bit out of order. Phantom Greyfire says, Miss Super from Thomas Kaz. Should I make a tier list template for Straw Hat outfits? That would be really, really great. Could you do that, Thomas? That would be really, 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 really great. It's just, it would be so many outfits, dude. The tier list would take forever. I think it makes more sense if we did like one character at a time. Like, unless you did Straw Hat outfits, like if we did it as a group. You know, if we did it as a group. So like, this is what they look like in Enies Lobby. This is what they look like as a group in Thriller Bark. Like, if you did it as a group, I think that might work better. Because otherwise, it's a very, very thick, you know, tier list. Jinho Wong says, you won't enjoy 1015 Morge. I'm calling it. Sorry, guys. We all know Morge too well. What does that mean? What does that mean? You guys know I enjoyed Film Z. What does that mean? Now I feel like I need to go watch 1015 and come back and tell you guys I liked it, just to prove Jinho Wong wrong. Aesop says, you missed my last super chat, young man. Look, I got to it, I'm pretty sure. I just got to it. I'm just a little behind. I'm a little slow because I'm very, very old. Very, very old. Thomas Kaz says, super chat from Thomas Kaz. Should I make a tier list for Straw Hat outfits? Yeah, Thomas, we covered you. Haven't seen that before. Mod shouting out their own Miss Super Chat. Rujandaru XX says, you ever think about writing your own story? All the time, and I've got a lot that I would like to do. Particularly, I want to make a movie, and that's kind of the main goal that I'm working towards right now. I'm trying to save up as much money as I can to make an independently produced movie, basically. So that's where I'm at right now. And I think that's basically my personal project for the next couple of years. Until I basically hit enough that I'm like, okay, now's the time to just go all in. Polmau says, you looking swole, Morge. Thank you, Polmau. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Get into Whitebeard level in no time. Think I'm a long... I don't know if there's a human in the world that's built like Whitebeard. Whitebeard is like 10, 12 feet tall. Hawkbox says, I like the way you did your transition for the sponsor advert for Albert. Was smooth as fuck. Also, are you buying Overwatch 2? It should be coming out soon. So okay, can I get some opinions here? The sponsorship transitions, some people have told me that they like them a lot. Actually, a lot of people like to talk about they like the sponsor transitions, so I like that. But the last one, the Albert one, I did get a couple comments from people saying that they didn't like it because it felt too much like a trick or a trap or something like that. And I don't want to do that. Like, it depends. Like, I think vast majority basically is saying basically like they like that transition. But then if you have some people saying it doesn't feel like, I'm just trying to have fun with it. Okay, like I'm just trying to have fun with it. I want to bake it in somewhat organically when I do these sponsor transitions, because I always feel weird when I'm watching a video and somebody basically just says, well, now it's the time for the sponsor for this video. So I try to do it organically. But if it feels too much like a bait or a trick, which is like, oh, we're gonna talk some One Piece, but actually it's slipping into talking about Albert or whatever, Albert, HelloFresh, etc. Just let me know. Disaster Master says, how does buying mod work? Just don't think about it too much. It's pretty much as straightforward as you might think, but don't just be a regular in the stream. Okay, I'm not gonna mod somebody who just shows up to this. Like it's more so me acknowledging that you're a regular in the stream, you super chat frequently, etc. Right? Like that's what's more important. Ryuma says ZKK is inevitable. I don't know. What's hilarious is I did that video. I did a video a little bit ago talking about things that Kaido has said that imply that certain future plot events might happen, right? And I did that video, and it's like 6 different quotes. One's about Yamato, one's about the people of Wano, like a lot of it seems to be basically me indicating that I think that there's more to go in Wano. I think that there's certain things that but certain things that are very possibly set up to still happen, right? So I do this whole video, and to be honest, a lot of it is basically hinting at, I think the raid will fail, stuff like that, right? I do this whole video, right? There's a 1-minute section in this like 14-minute video, 1-minute section where I'm talking about Zoro, and now I think Zoro is set to do something more this arc, right? I don't even specify what, because I don't personally believe in ZKK, right? But I just say Zoro is probably set to get back up. I imply that there's more for him to do or shine in this arc, okay? So I go to Twitter the next day. Nobody is talking about anything else in that video, right? Nobody has said I think 1 or 2 people shout out that video or whatever. But there is like a million posts retweeting and quote tweeting and whatever, liking, etc. that clip, just that clip of Zoro, with people going absolutely crazy if like, Morge signed off on ZKK. ZKK is coming back at like every single comment, every single quote tweet, etc. It's all about ZKK. Some people being like, Morge is a clown. ZKK is not happening. Oh, Morge is switching up. Now he believes in ZKK. And I'm just like, is this for real? This is like, I didn't even think about ZKK when writing this Zoro set. All I wrote was like, Zoro's probably going to get up and probably do some more shit because it just seems that way. And Kaido said a couple things. I never said Zoro's going to kill Kaido. And that's just 1 minute of the video. Most of the video is actually mostly me trying to hint that the raid's gonna fail. I thought that was gonna be the main takeaway. But like, it's actually insane. The Zoro fandom is actually insane. It's like, oh, he talked about Zoro a little bit, and he's saying that Zoro's gonna do something else. It's over. ZKK is happening. Morge is heralding ZKK. He's all about ZKK now. I'm just like, what the fuck? Is it even worth telling people that I don't necessarily... wasn't thinking about ZKK at all? Is it worth it? I guess they'll find out at some point. The partier says, super chat missed from... One sec. From Charles Singleton. Did you catch any of Pound 22 this weekend, specifically Melee? Yes, I did, and I'm happy to see Zayn winning. I want to see Zayn get some wins, like, under his belt, just because I feel like people have been really, really unfair on him in terms of, like, not giving him that crown because of the online era. But I totally understand at the same time. At the same time, you got to ultimately value the LAN events more. So, you know, I feel like we all knew it was deserved. It was weird because Summit 11, I was so happy Mango won. Because it was just the coolest win that I'd ever gotten to really, like, be a part of and witness. I guess, like, yeah, just the coolest win. I'm a Mango fan for a long time, etc. So I was, like, happy he got that one. But we all knew that should have been Zayn's. So I was like, okay, so Mango got that one. Probably won't happen again. Now Zayn can get his Summit 12 win and, like, the world is right. But Zayn didn't win that either. And I was like, fuck. Poor guy. Like, he's clearly the best in the world. Like, he just needs to, you know, get his mental straight for a couple tournaments in a row, and then he can rightfully take the throne that is owed to him. So, like, I'm a Mango fan more, but Zayn is clearly the best, and I do generally want to see the best player like have that title. You know, I feel bad seeing Zayn clearly be the best and just not getting to essentially have the crown. Hamda Jaled says, "What's the next tier list? And really tell us your thoughts about 1015 after seeing it. Also, Ishitani only did 3 episodes. Next tier list is to be determined. We had some really good ideas out of the last stream. So I will figure it out. I might even do a poll on the channel in the community tab to figure out the next tier list. And we might not even do a tier list. There was actually a really good idea that was thrown out last stream that I forget that I will have to go back and check on. Tobbs93 says, Luffy using the Toon Force to stretch the giant katana on Onigashima and planting the island into the ground. What do you think? I don't think that, but that's an interesting idea. I don't know what that would really accomplish. What do you mean? What do you mean on that? Pinning it? Pinning Onigashima to the ground? I don't really fully understand that. Sorry, one sec. Fizzle says you're gonna get Ohara to be your MC. No, but obviously if I know people who are actors and would be willing to do it for free, then anybody that's good at acting would be willing to do it for free. Tall Campbell says, I don't believe Morge could figure out the community tab. I have used the community tab. What are you talking about? I've used the community tab many, many, many times in the past. I've made great use of the community tab over the years. Aliot05 says, hey, Lork. Heard you like ZKK. Where'd you hear that? Been some months, so I wanted to reiterate my theory that the Buggy Pirates will host Luffy and Shanks' Davy backfight. That's a cool theory. I could see it happening. I just don't know if anyone needs to host it. You know what I mean? Persona Ego says, thoughts on GLR's recent video about you versus Ohara. I have not seen it yet, but I know that there was discussion about that at the beginning of this stream before I came in. So I asked if it was a mean video about me. People said it wasn't a mean video. So because it's not a mean video, I'll probably watch it at some point. If it's like a mean video that's just like taking shots at me or something like that, then like there's just no purpose to me watching it. I just know it exists somewhere and I can check it out. There's no reason. What do I gain from checking it out? But I'm taking your guys' word on it that it's not like a mean video. So in that case, I might watch it at some point. Same way I might watch. Well, I'll probably watch it at some point. But, you know, I'll probably watch like 10-15. It's like when I feel like it. AI says best Masterminds tier list should be the next one. It's interesting because One Piece doesn't really have any, like, it's a staple in anime and manga, right? That you have characters that are just super smart. There's certain characters that are just, you know, these crazy chess masters that are super duper smart. And they planned everything out, etc. One Piece doesn't really have that. It has smart characters, right? It has smart characters, but there's almost no characters that have like everything in the palm of their hand and they're really like strategizing and figuring out like everything out, right? The closest we get is to like it's characters like Law that are realistically smart planners. You know what I mean? Like realistically smart strategist. Like, he's got a plan, but it's not foolproof, and a lot of shit goes wrong, stuff like that. Then you got like Blackbeard on the other end, who's clearly smart, but a lot of it is just like really, really calculated gambling, and a lot of shit can go wrong. He kind of scrapes by on the seat of his pants, basically. Like, I think that I like that One Piece doesn't have any like crazy chess masters or whatever like that. Le Guerrier Ivanku says, "Who's the king of the underworld in One Piece?" Didn't Zoro basically call himself that? Zoro basically said, "I'm the king of hell." Like, isn't Enma literally means, as far as I know, like king of the underworld, right? Zoro literally labeled himself like, I'm Enma. I'm the king of hell. I was like, I don't know if you get to call yourself that. I think it's a little weird if you call yourself that. Viran says Crocodile kinda. I think all of the characters in One Piece that are smart and like planners and strategists, it's in the realistic sense, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, I could totally imagine like someone like Crocodile executing a plan like that. Things honestly almost go too well, right? That's obviously the only unrealistic part of it, but it's nothing crazy. It's nothing like, I guess Aizen is the typical go-to, like I've had everything in the palm of my hands, right? Or even just something simple like, a Shikamaru who's thinking 10 steps ahead in his combat, right? Like, the closest we get for like okay, you could say two things: macro characters who have planned everything on a large scale. One Piece doesn't really have that, as far as I know. And then even micro, it's rare that like pure strategy goes that many steps deep. So characters like Usopp are basically as smart as you're gonna get in the heat of a fight, right? Planning out clever things over the course of a fight. And he's not like a Shikamaru where it's like, everything I'm planning out, like I'm planning out all these little steps, and like if this fails, then this will work, and then this is the backup, and then this is the final, closing checkmate move or something like that, right? Usopp, he puts a few things together, and it's basically like, all right, I got you, this worked,